Tonight at 5, how communities across the U.S. and here in Wisconsin are celebrating the life and legacy of civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Plus, to save their campus, UW-Richland students and supporters are looking to state leaders for help. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for staying with us at 5, everyone. We're keeping an eye on some upcoming alert days this week.
The system has potential to bring everything from thunderstorms tonight to a new storm bringing snow tomorrow. Tomorrow night, that is. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canelti is tracking the storm. He's out in the weather backyard patio.
Yeah, that's the foggy backyard patio. We are seeing just a little bit of fog here right now, and that's just because the winds have lightened up. But as we take a look at visible cloud track, you can see this looks almost like a spring storm system. There's been some sunshine across parts of eastern Iowa, and that allowed some strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. In fact, even a couple of brief tornado touchdowns near Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Those storms are tracking into southwestern Wisconsin right now. You can see just a few flashes of lightning, but for the most part, those storms have been weakening as they push through Grant County. Just to the south of Platteville, a couple more flashes of lightning over toward Lone Rock, and that's because the temperatures are in the 50s over parts of eastern Iowa, but in the lower 40s across southern Wisconsin. Right now, 42 in Platteville, 41 in Madison, and temperatures are in the 30s to the north and east of Dane County. Across Dane County itself, 42 right now in Mount Horeb and also in Verona, 41 in Madison, and 41 degrees in Sun Prairie. Look for temperatures to actually rise into the middle 40s with a shower or perhaps even a thunderstorm early this evening, but the temperatures will start falling again tomorrow, and we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night and Thursday for the potential for a moderate snowfall. I'll have more on how much we can expect and when it'll arrive in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, school closings, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Well, twice in his life, he came to Madison with his message. Today, we're celebrating the life and legacy of civil rights icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Preaching a message of nonviolent resistance, Dr. King became enshrined in American culture as the leading voice of the civil rights movement. Dr. King participated and led marches for desegregation, the right to vote, labor rights, and other civil rights. He helped drive the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. He also won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Dr. King was fatally shot outside of his motel room in 1968.
Yesterday was Dr. King's birthday. He would have been 94 years old. This year marks 60 years since the March on Washington and Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. Several local communities are hosting events to celebrate Dr. King today.
Political reporter Will Keneally is live at the state capitol showing us one of the longest running celebrations. And our Armin Rahman is live at the Overture Center for another ceremony.
We'll check in with them in just a moment, but first we want to tell you about one of the choirs performing at the Overture Center's event.
The MLK Community Choir will perform a collection of freedom songs. We first told you about them over the weekend as singers held their last rehearsal before the big show. The choir is open to anyone regardless of background and is led by Leotha Stanley and Tamara Jennings Stanley. The choir will be back for the event's 38th year at the Overture Center.
And that is where we find our Armin Rahman right now, minutes before things are supposed to get underway. Armin?
Yeah, guys, the Overture Center is filling up here because there is a lot in store for the return of the in-person event tonight. In just a few minutes, I'll be speaking with the keynote speaker and goddaughter of Dr. King, Donzale Abernathy. She will speak about how she has continued her godfather's civil rights fight in her life. And then before she takes the mic, there will be a freedom song sing-in for the first half hour of the program. Mayor Sacha Rhodes Conway and County Executive Joe Parisi will be presenting awards tonight as well. And then, of course, more performances from the MLK Community Choir. We'll have more all on that tonight at 10 o'clock. For now, live at the Overture Center, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
All right, Armand, thank you. We'll take a look back in as the ceremony starts to get underway in just a little while in the show. The sights and sounds celebrating Martin Luther King Day filled the state capitol rotunda this morning. It is the oldest official state MLK celebration in the country.
Political reporter Will Keneally was there. He joins us live from the Capitol with more. Will?
Sorry, so we heard a theme today of let justice rule. And that's not necessarily justice in the criminal justice sense, as organizer Jonathan Overby describes. It's also about treating people with kindness and justice.
To engage in that civility of discourse and action that really speaks to what I think is important about the American spirit, and that is that we treat each other well and with grace and dignity and respect.
This is the 42nd year that Overby has helped produce the celebration at the state capitol. You mentioned that the goal is to make the event culturally inclusive. And as you heard from some of the attendees, it's not also a bad way to spend a day off of school. So coming up later tonight, we'll hear from one of the students that was there today performing the I Have a Dream speech. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. Reporter Lisa Pugh sat down with Wisconsin Legislative Black Caucus Chair Representative Dora Drake of Milwaukee to talk about the importance of Martin Luther King in Wisconsin. Drake talked about how she feels like she wouldn't be where she is right now, a black woman elected official in a state like Wisconsin, without the services of Reverend King. She also spoke about the goals of the Legislative Black Caucus.
Whether that's making sure that you have a living wage to live on, or making sure that there are opportunities to be hired, whether it's diverse supplier chain or workforce, but also things that I think we know all too well. What are we doing to making sure that people become homeowners, not be incarcerated, things of that nature.
Drake said at its core, the caucus wants to make tangible results that'll have major impacts for black Wisconsinites.
Communities across the nation are also celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. At Chicago's Parkside Academy, volunteers gathered to paint inspirational murals on the walls of the school. In the nation's capital, Vice President Kamala Harris joined students at George Washington University to assemble academic kits for young children. Philadelphia honored Dr. King's legacy, ringing the Liberty Bell. In Los Angeles, Denver, and San Antonio, residents filled the streets for marches.
We have a long way to go, but we've made so much change already. Diversity, equity, inclusion, that's really the future of what we're marching for today, and that's Dr. King's legacy.
At an MLK breakfast hosted by Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network, President Biden highlighted his economic and infrastructure policies that he says are helping to make Dr. King's dream a reality. Sunday, the president visited the Atlanta church where Dr. King was pastor and became the first sitting president to speak at the service. Convinced that their campus still has a chance to see better days, students at UW-Richland are hoping the community's support will be the difference maker.
This comes after System President Jay Rothman announced in-person classes will close at UW-Platteville's branch campus in Richland Center this summer. Theo Muldine joins students and their supporters this afternoon.
The effort to save this campus started 2 months ago with an online petition. Now the voices behind the signatures in Richland County are getting state leaders involved. In a listening session with state legislators Howard Markline and Tony Kurtz, dozens of people took turns addressing the pair, asking them to find a way to revive UW-Richland's campus before it's too late. Markline heard the community's concerns for over an hour, saying he understands where they're coming from, but says he doesn't believe, even as co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee, he has the power to change System's decision.
Some of the people here gave us way too much credit in terms of our ability to influence the decision. That was a decision made by System. Again, I was told of the decision. It wasn't a conversation that we had. He didn't ask for any input.
UW Systems officials cite steep declining enrollment and financial pressures as the main reasons for the push to close the branch campus. Advocates for its survival believe the system should consider other solutions, like hiring a dedicated recruitment officer and reinvesting in an international student population before shutting down the school entirely. Without intervention, this campus is set to close come July, forcing about 100 students and staff to be transferred to other area campuses. In Richland Center, Tahlil Mahaddin, News 3 Now.
The Richland County Board has plans to meet for a closed session tomorrow night to discuss the campus closure and the path forward.
New at 5 people have been displaced after an apartment fire in Sun Prairie. Firefighters were sent to the 500 block of Schiller Street after a caller reported smelling smoke. The building was evacuated and all people and pets were able to get out uninjured. The fire was found in the attic and quickly put out. An investigation found the fire was unintentional and caused by an electrical issue. The incident caused about $100,000 in damages.
The investigation into President Biden's handling of classified materials is just getting started, and Republicans are calling for the current president to be treated the same way as the former president's classified document case was handled. Skylar Henry has the latest.
Republicans in Congress are demanding to know who may have had access to classified documents found at President Biden's former Capitol Hill office and his Wilmington, Delaware home.
I think there's a lot of questions that continue to raise, and we want to get all the information possible.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer sent a letter to the White House requesting the visitor log of President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home since he was elected.
The logs, I think, are very important. If they've had classified information, and this is apparently some of the most highly sensitive material we have in the United States government, at a residence, that we need to know who that was exposed to, potentially.
The White House tells CBS News that while they do keep records of who comes and goes from the White House, there are no such records at the president's personal residence. White House officials say they turned over 5 more documents found at the president's home over the weekend to DOJ officials, and they're fully cooperating with the special counsel's investigation.
This administration is doing things by the book. There is a divide and a separation between the Department of Justice and the White House that certainly did not exist in the last administration.
President Biden didn't address the investigation during a Martin Luther King Jr. Day speech Monday. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden added that he would work with House Republicans on legislative matters that make the country better. Well, next at 5, Gary tells us what to expect for some upcoming alert days.
Plus, another round of wicked weather is hitting the West Coast. We'll check in with California communities after the break. And later, a new cabin is putting a modern spin on the rustic feel of living in the Northwoods. We'll take an inside look tonight at 6.
No stock numbers to report today because of the holiday. We'll be right back.
Monsters of Destruction is coming, and coming with a vengeance. Monster Trucks, Tough Trucks, Monster Truck Rides, new to Madison, Quad Wars, no rules, all things, no race to the finish you don't want to miss. Buckshot, War Wizard, Heavy Hitter against the King and Alcatraz, all ready for 3 massive shows. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride, snap a pic with a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center, January 27th, 28th, and 29th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
Memories matter. This bend on Cox Hollow Lake was one of Dad's favorite fishing holes. Crest Funeral and Cremation Service helped us make sure he's never forgotten. Making it personal. It's how you heal. We are Crest. We truly believe your memories matter.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. And we know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box. We're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. Your vehicle's brake pads are designed to wear down over time. That's why we recommend a visual brake inspection at least once a year or before you hit the road for a trip. If you feel or hear anything abnormal, stop into Meineke for a free brake inspection and a courtesy check today. And with 4 locations in the Madison area, there's always a Meineke nearby. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com today.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, after learning their campus would be closing down, students at UW-Richland are contacting state leaders for help. What they hope can be done before it's too late.
A home improvement scam that took customers' money and left them with shoddy and unfinished work.
It was just a total nightmare.
See how our Call for Action team responded to dozens of complaints and what it could mean for the man responsible. Wednesday on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A powerful storm system brought nearly 20 inches of snow to northern Arizona, with more on the way. Snow and rain are also falling in California, where weather concerns have piled up in recent weeks. Nichelle Medina reports from San Diego.
The latest storm system to hit the west keeps dropping snow on Flagstaff, Arizona, even though there's already 1.5 feet on the ground. It's the same situation in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, where several feet have fallen, burying cars and making driving treacherous.
When we were on our way, we were debating turning around because we saw the storm was getting bad.
Heavy rain brought landslides to a highway near Reno, Nevada, shutting it down, and mudslides to Berkeley Hills in the San Francisco Bay Area, prompting evacuations of some homes. A tree crashed into a home and onto a road in the area. President Biden approved a major disaster declaration for California as residents like Steve Summey remained evacuated.
I hope everybody else is safe and just keep hanging in there. It's supposed to lighten up a little bit.
But not just yet. Further south, floodwaters surrounded vehicles in San Diego, and the Ventura River near Los Angeles is still raging. This woman says she had to rescue a friend last week who was nearly swept away.
And then she fell, and then she was like starting to sweep right by me, and I grabbed her arm and pulled her out. Thankfully, it almost took me down.
Forecasts show drier weather for the state starting Tuesday. Nichelle Medina, CBS News.
The weather has already caused an estimated $1 billion in damage.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now with the latest on upcoming alert days in our area. Gary?
Yeah, Mark, those are actually for Wednesday night and Thursday, but this afternoon, severe weather happened over parts of eastern Iowa. Look at the reports of hail and even a couple of brief tornado touchdowns, one near Williamsburg in Iowa, and then another just to the east of Cedar Rapids between about 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, that cluster of storms has headed to the north and east and is now pushing into southwestern Wisconsin. But you can see it's weakened quite a bit. But you can still see the kind of rotation here in the rain showers. Not looking for any severe weather here. The air is much cooler across Wisconsin. It was in the 50s back towards Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Here in southern Wisconsin, temperatures are right around 40 degrees. But don't be surprised if you get a flash of lightning or hear a rumble of thunder. In fact, you can see a couple of flashes of lightning just to the west of Lone Rock. But a little wider radar perspective shows rain here. To the north, a mixture of rain and snow up through northern Wisconsin. This weather system will pull off to the north and east, and we might see some sprinkles or flurries during the day tomorrow. But 6-hour future track radar shows any thunderstorm threat will be mainly this evening as those showers head to the north and east, and then we'll see a few wraparound showers later on tonight. However, future track beginning this afternoon shows that those showers lift to the north and east. Again, those showers winding down tonight, and then just some drizzle or flurries during the day tomorrow. Wednesday will be quiet with lots of clouds, but no precipitation during the day. But here comes the next weather system, bringing snow in from the south and west into southern Wisconsin. This is midnight, early Thursday morning, and you can see the snow overspreading much of southern Wisconsin. Continues through the overnight hours, but then starts to lift toward the north and can break up a little bit as we head into the morning hours. Right now, we're thinking somewhere around 3 to 6 inches of snow from Madison northward, maybe closer to 2 inches down toward the Illinois state line. The heaviest band of snow more likely perhaps up toward the Dells, but we'll just have to wait and see when that snow develops. But we're looking at a general moderate snowfall, so we do have an alert day in the forecast from Wednesday night into Thursday for 2 to 6 inches of snow. Most of the accumulating snow will be from Wednesday evening, probably through early Thursday morning, and then winding down during the day on Thursday. Now, as we check out our forecast for tonight, look for perhaps a thunderstorm this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mild with showers. Low temperature dropping to 37, but tomorrow's high temperature of 38 will be in the morning with nearly steady temperatures through the day with some drizzle or perhaps a flurry. Again, a thunderstorm chance this evening. Otherwise, just a few scattered showers overnight. Temperatures will climb into the 40s and then start dropping back through the upper 30s and lower 40s as we head into tomorrow morning. Again, the snowfall Wednesday night into Thursday, a general 2 to perhaps as much as 5 or 6 inches of snow with the heaviest amounts north and west of Madison. 7 to 10 day forecast. Look for colder weather with dry conditions from Friday through Sunday, and then maybe some light snow chances on Monday and a couple of flurries Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. By Thursday, though, the high temperature drops back to 20. We haven't been that cold for a while. As we check out first warn traffic right now, here's the view of the Beltline at the Yahara River Bridge. You can see some fog there, also wet roads. We've got some showers moving on through. But right now, the traffic's moving pretty steadily in both directions on the Beltline. Some slowdowns on Stoughton Road just to the north of the Beltline. Otherwise, about a 15 to 16-minute trip either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. It's 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990, 17 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12, and downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now first warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. It's a disease that's treatable if detected early and preventable with the HPV vaccine. A new American Cancer Society report estimates about 14,000 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed this year, and more than 4,000 women will die. Death rates have dropped significantly with increased use of the Pap test, and that's why doctors are stressing the importance of early detection.
Unfortunately, though, many women, especially underserved women, have not seen physicians and they don't get regular screening.
The report also shows a 65% reduction in cervical cancer rates in women in their early 20s. That's after the introduction of the HPV vaccine.
Well, coming up, lawmakers are demanding answers after the latest round of airline disruptions. Details next at 5.
Now, First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. to help you take walks again,
to ease your pain,
to rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you.
You.
They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 2.99% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups or get $1,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $3,250 total cash allowance.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, the FAA meltdown that led to the first full ground stop of U.S. air travel since 9/11 has lawmakers demanding answers.
It comes on the heels of the Southwest Airlines disruption that thwarted holiday travel for thousands of passengers.
Can passengers trust future itineraries? Karen Kafa has the latest.
Dozens of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle demanding more answers in a letter to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg on Friday concerned the FAA technology issues that led to the disruption of thousands of U.S. flights last week could run deeper.
We've been able to make some major gains in terms of accountability for airlines when it comes to their customer service. We equally have to make sure that FAA has the systems, the staffing, and the operations that it needs.
The FAA meltdown on the heels of the Southwest Airlines holiday debacle that canceled thousands of flights. Despite the recent headlines, Katie Nastro, travel expert for Going, says the majority of flights are getting from point A to point B on time. But passengers can prepare to be their own troubleshooters.
Sometimes things happen, having that flexibility and just being prepared with a backup plan is never a bad idea.
That begins with reading the fine print on a ticket.
There are controllable disruptions. That's things within the airline's control that they can manage, like a staffing issue, like a software issue internally. And then there are uncontrollables like the weather and air traffic control, which is an entirely other separate entity from airlines.
That distinction will determine your compensation from an airline. Nastro also recommends nonstop flights to reduce the chance of disruption and early morning flights to avoid the domino effect of disruptions to a flight schedule like the FAA stop last week. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And we'll have a final check of the forecast coming up.
Need to update your furniture? Menards has the furniture you need in stock. Plus, you get a free rug. That's right. Buy any upholstered living room furniture at $2.99 or more and get a free 5x7 area rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Need a new chair? How about a sectional, a new recliner, or love seat? Buy one today, get a free rug. Hurry up. Get to Menards before they're gone. In-store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there's now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
Presents 2023 Furniture Resolutions. Resolution number 57. Say yes to new opportunities. Do you want your sectional to store spare linens and toys? Yes! Do you want your sectional to transform into a magical Bobapedic bed for overnight guests? Yes! Do you want your sectional to be as stylish as it is sittable, nappable, place to enjoy a snackable? Yes! Make 2023 your year of yes with one of my playgroup sectionals. Bob's Discount Furniture. Furniture solutions for your New Year's resolutions.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. Terror on the tarmac. 2 planes nearly collide on a runway at a busy New York City airport. How the potential disaster was avoided. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And here's Gary now with a weather recap, some alert days.
Yeah, we got some rain right now, even a couple of thunderstorms. You can see a little flash of lightning over toward Lone Rock within the last hour. These thunderstorms actually were severe over parts of eastern Iowa, but you can see on 6-hour future track radar, most of the thunderstorm activity heads to the north and east, and we're just left with some lighter showers or drizzle, and also some fog. Visibility at the airport is 3/4 of a mile, but it's quite low, at least here on the west side. It shouldn't last for too long. Notice the visibility is improving over southwestern Wisconsin as the winds start to pick up. Temperatures right now are in the lower 40s from Madison to the south and west, still in the upper 30s to the north and east. Across Dane County, 40 right now in Sun Prairie, 42 right now in Belleville. Look for temperatures to actually rise a little bit during the evening hours to the middle 40s before the showers start to wind down.
All right, thank you, Gary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good evening. Hope to see you back here tonight at 6.